if Joe Yabuki was trained by Coach Kamagawa? Let's talk about it. But first, I want your hands down and your chin up. Ready? Box! So, I was thinking today. I know Hajime no Ippo and Ashita no Joe happen in the same universe. But I wondered, what would it be like if we reversed some of the main characters? So, for this section, what would happen if Coach Kamagawa trained Joe Yabuki? As you know, Coach Kamagawa is the coach that trains the two main characters in Hajime no Ippo, that being Ippo and Takamura. He was a coach, he was a boxer once himself before he had an unfortunate accident that left both his hands destroyed. And Joe Yabuki is a title character of Ashita no Joe. He's a young runaway delinquent who becomes a boxer and has just a very rich and filling story. And I thought about it in the first instance, let's bring Joe to the modern times with Coach Kamagawa. First and foremost, that no guard style, not gonna fly at all. Okay? Coach Kamagawa, he trains the basics and he drills them in. So that no guard style, done. We get knocked out the way immediately, early on. And before even that, they can get past not killing each other or hurting each other bad in the first couple of meetings, because Joe put that stuff on Dompe. He put it on him. So I don't think Kamagawa will go for that. And I don't know if Kamagawa can take better hits, better fight than Dompe. I feel like Dompe is better than Kamagawa just based on age. Anywho's, Joe would have to lose a no guard style, which is automatically no, F that. We're gonna do things right and the right way. I do believe the time at the prison, the boys' prison, will still go the same with Joe training every day. I don't see Coach Kamagawa writing letters to Joe every day, possibly giving him a book on boxing. And when the tournament happens, he will have a plan definitely to defeat Rikishi. However, I feel like he would go more for an uppercut, a Joe's killer uppercut, as opposed to the double arm counter. So I wouldn't see his signature counter, the right on right counter, where you hit each other at the same time. Kamagawa wouldn't go for that either. He's big on being strong, taking punishment, and winning, even if your bones break, your skin shatters. But he's not on needlessly getting hit. That's one thing I can say and give him credit for. So a lot of Joe's arsenal off the rip, some of the most iconic moves are taken out of, just because of how he actually fights. And I wonder if Kamagawa would put emphasis on him using his footwork, footwork and jabs, as opposed to not jabs. He's not a jabbing type of person, but footwork definitely. Going forward now to the actual matches and arsenals, this is me saying this right here. All right, I'm putting it on wax. If Joe Yabuki had Coach Kamagawa training him, he would have beat Rikishi Toro.
Shut up! Shut up! You six.
Okay, your thoughts?
Absolutely the most wild thing I've ever seen in my life. I mean, they'll be hearing from us today, and I don't mind repeating it because it's one of the most bizarre things ever.
He would have done it. He would have done it. Okay, and I'm going to tell you why. Rikishi Toro is an amazing boxer, probably one of the best in the whole Ashita no Joe series. I only say maybe the best because of there is still Carlos still exists. Not Carlos Rivera, but Jose Mendoza. I do think Mendoza is the top of the line, then Toro, then Joe, then Ricardo. But nonetheless, he's a great boxer. He's skilled. He has discipline, which is one thing. He can lose weight, he can maintain weight. He is still just given regular standard boxing. There's nothing super duper special about Rikishi Toro. He's athletic, he's gifted, but he has nothing that Kamagawa can't prepare for. His style, Kamagawa can fight for, he can prepare for. It's not something crazy unknown. He doesn't have some magical one-punch KO. Like, he has power, yes, can knock you out, yes, but not one special Sunday punch. So out of his arsenal, he's straight up and down as a fighter. He's regular standard fighter. Kamagawa can prepare for that, and he's trained fighters from nothing to prepare and defeat people who fight the same as Rikishi Toro. Look at Ippo. Pretty much, he's a prime example. If I had to put someone out there that fought on Toro's level, now I want to say Dante, but I can't. I mean, order-wise, they match up. But someone who fights on Toro's level, maybe Okita. He had the experience. He was strong. If not Okita, Vogue maybe? Maybe Vogue's on his level? But it matters not. Whoever it is, Joe trained to beat him. You'll defeat him. You can. Kamagawa's proof he had no crazy styles. Look at how Takamura handled Brian Hawk. But you could say, oh, Takamura's gifted, he's blessed, and he is. When he snapped and actually started landing hits, that was good. But before that, he took him down to speed hail, he used his jab, he was overcoming Brian Hawk, a world champion, while he was weight drained as well because of Coach Kamagawa's teachings. And now I'm not even a good Coach Kamagawa fan. I don't even like him that much. But if he had his hands on Joe YABUKI, he would do great things. That being said, I do see him still getting stopped at Mendoza. I don't see him passing by Mendoza. However, the time he got disqualified for getting pushed back in the ring, I want to say it was against, not Snake, his loss to Harijima. None of that would happen with Kamagawa in his corners. Kamagawa knows boxing, knows how to do boxing. Now, I do think the first issue they would have would be against Carlos Rivera, as he's cheating and things like that. But I don't see Kamagawa doing much more than telling him, look out for the elbows and don't cheat back. Don't get fouled out. Because Kamagawa would never advocate for cheating. Also, during all this, Kamagawa would have more control over Joe. Like, Joe and Dompe were kind of at odds towards the end of the series, at least when I was reading it. Kamagawa's not playing that. You come to the gym, you respect. Alright? I say jump, you say how high. It's law and order. I'm laying down the law. I'm law. So, like, the respect will be there, and that's also going to raise the trust between the two of them. Get them fighting better. The Harimon fight, same thing. Same thing. I feel like if Joe had Kamagawa, he'd run through his fights much easier. He's also training much harder. Now, during this time though, after what happens with Rikishi, I do wonder how Kamagawa would get Joe back. I don't see him chasing him down or anything like that, because he kind of lets Takamura do his own thing. But I don't know if he would allow Joe to come back. Part of me wants to say yes, just for the sake of this video, but realistically, like, I'm tired of this kid. I don't need this kid. I'm off. He'll practice harder on Mammoth. When he found out Mammoth was eating food, he'd probably kick him out the gym too. Because Kamagawa, he doesn't play those games. So yeah, if Joey Buki was trained by Kamagawa, he would still go to the world. I still see him losing to Mendoza. We haven't really seen Kamagawa train someone that can handle Mexican fighters or someone handle like invincible champions just yet. But even think about Ippo, the most training he's doing and saying he's getting from outside, not just Kamagawa, but going out and training, being the set, getting sparring. So yeah, if Yabuki had Kamagawa in his corner, I can see him going. And even if he does lose to the WBC championship, he probably go to IBF or WBA, I can see him become the world champion with Kamagawa. That's all I got for this one, y'all. Let me know your thoughts below. Catch you on the next one.